How y'all doing? I'm Magazine here again, guys. Just out walking through the woods, and I found that. Tabi, stop. Yeah, it's not hunting season. It looks a little bit fresh. Yeah, it's blood on a leaf. Tabi, come here. I haven't heard any shots going off out here. I mean, it's turkey season, but yeah. So I'm gonna look around and see if I can find any more. I don't see any tracks of anything big right around here. Oh, I lost my leaf. Oh, there it is. So, yeah. Not sure what that's from, but we might find out. We'll see. I'm Magazine. Catch you in a little. Well, found some more. So, whatever it is, we're on its trail. Little Tabi playing in the water, now choking. Haven't seen any more wildlife yet. We're on the lookout. We are on the lookout. Not being overly sneaky today though, because yeah, after seeing that blood, I'm wondering if somebody is out here hunting. I don't want to get shot. I'm not exactly wearing highly visible colors. Yeah, kind of khakied out. The coyote brown on the back. A little olive drab in the bottom. Just I got my my raven, my Kelty raven pack pretty well stuffed. Just you know, seeing how it carries, seeing how it works with a fairly heavy load on it. I don't know, we're probably pushing somewhere between the 30 and 50 region. Maybe not that much. Maybe 30, 40 pounds in the pack. So yeah, we'll see how that works. Anywho, we'll continue on our journey. See, it's nice and green. A little bit on the cloudy side up there. When I started out here, it was a little sunnier. I'd planned on camping out last night, but you're calling for thunderstorms and whatnot. And we got some. Not overly super saturated now. Man, it's about 1 o'clock. So I think it stopped raining sometime in the morning. So we got you know, it's had a little bit of time to dry up. Had some sunshine. It's still pretty wet out here. I could probably try and start a fire. See how that goes in the wet. Alrighty, well, I'll turn this off until we find something interesting, I guess. There were some pretty big fish in here last time. I saw one before I put the camera down there. I don't see any. Oh, there's one. I don't know if you guys can see him or not. See if I put y'all looking through my polarized lenses. How's that work? Doesn't help a whole lot. Helps me a lot. Real clear to me. Gotta get some polarized lenses. Polarized lenses are good for survivability, because you can look down into the top of the water, and instead of seeing that glare that you're seeing, I see right through to the bottom. I don't know why it doesn't work for the camera. Maybe it does. Does it? Guess it cuts out a lot. Yeah, it does. Stuck over there, you really can't see the bottom. Now you can kind of see the bottom. Without polarized lenses, with polarized lenses. In case you wonder what the hell polarized lenses did. I don't know if it helps the camera near as much as it helps me. That's probably due to the focal point of the camera. Or the camera lens is probably not shaped like the lens of the eye. Because through my viewfinder I can't really tell how much it's helping. But it appears to be helping a little bit. Oh, there we go. Maybe that's the problem. Well, that helps a lot there. I was holding my glasses sideways. Oh yeah, when you actually have it straight on like your eye goes. Oh yeah, there we go. Now you can kind of see the difference. Boom. No polarized lenses. Polarized lenses. Anyway, there you go. How y'all doing? I'm Z here again, guys. We're back again. It's the same outing. Now, I wanted to show you. I was thinking about making a shelter. And I think I've talked about making shelters once before. How it's, you know, yeah, there's a bunch of different ways to make a shelter. But why waste energy building a completely brand new shelter when nature often provides you opportunities for shelter if you just look for them a little bit? And but there's also a cautionary tale in here. But anyway, right here, take a look at that. We got ourselves a nice big rock. And we even got a sitting rock right next to that rock. And honestly, this seems to be a perfect place to build a shelter. And it almost is. I mean, I got a whole wall right there to my back where I don't have to worry about any wind or anything like that. You would have to do a little bit of work on this area. Mainly because you got a hill right there, a hill right there with a game trail on it. And if it were raining or something like that, both that hill as well as the game trail as well as the top of the rock is going to force the rainwater. Well, it's going to go right down that hill because of gravity. Then it's going to hit that game trail and flow right into your little camp. As you can see, there's a depression there. I don't know if you make out the depression or not, but there's kind of a bowl right here. Okay, and that's mainly probably because due to water flowing down, you know, the side of the hill here, hitting the game trail, and it's probably going to pool right here. There's really nowhere for it to go. Once it gets high enough, it's going to go on out this way. Not sure if you could even see what I was talking about. Once it gets high enough, it'll go out that way, but it's got to get pretty darn high for the water to go out that way. But you could still use this, but you'd have to do a little bit of work to it. Now, the question is the work involved going to be greater than the benefit of having this behind you? I personally say no, I don't think it is. Because all you'd really have to do, I don't think it would take that long, honestly, but you just have to build yourself a, dig yourself, not build, a drainage ditch. Probably right down through here. So when the water comes down, it'll hit your drainage ditch and go on away from your camp. That would be a little bit of extra work, but in today's conditions, I mean, I can dig with a stick It's wet, the ground's not that hard here. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. Get yourself a rock, a nice flattened out stick. You could dig that out pretty easy. And I don't think it would take that long. It's not going to be perfect, no. But I think the benefit of having that rock as a back wall is definitely going to outweigh the work. And also, as you're digging out your little path, you can throw your dirt right down there in your depression and level it off. Yeah, it's, I don't know, probably is a little more work than it sounds. But I really like the idea of having that rock as a back for several reasons. If you have a campfire and let's say we put our campfire in this area, be a pretty good place for it in my estimation. And the reason being is your rock face is going to collect the heat. So your fire is going to warm the rock throughout the day, and then at night when it cools off, that rock's going to retain the heat and help to keep you warm, even if, let's say, your fire goes out. Which is why I like having that rock behind me. I also like this little space, mainly, you know, another reason, because you got yourself that very nice little sitting rock there. You could even use that rock as a deflector. You know, depending on what you want to do, you won't have to build much of a reflector wall for your fire, depending on where you want it built. If you can incorporate that rock into it, or, as I said, just use it as a sitting rock. Perhaps a work area. But there is a problem with this area, which is why you got to be careful and look around and pay close attention to what you're doing. And it's right here. Yeah, that sucker. It's a tree. Yeah, it is a tree, but it's a just snapped off tree, as you can see. That tree used to be right there. Now it's there and supported right up there by the other tree. Not a whole lot up there really supporting. I mean, there is quite a bit up there supporting it, but a heavy wind, there really isn't much wood up there to protect you. That's going to snap. This whole thing is going to collapse. The way it's leaning, it probably wouldn't hurt you if you're laying here. But it looks like it's going to collapse right on our little sitting post here, our little sitting rock. And depending on where that snaps, there's no telling where the top of that, and there's quite a bit above where this tree's leaning on that tree up there. If you see that, there's quite a bit that's going to fall straight down on top of you. Now, it might not fall down, probably wouldn't fall straight down, but it all depends on how it hangs up on that tree over here. All this bit up here is going to snap, and it might fall down that way, away from you, which would be a good thing. But the likelihood of that is, I don't know. That's a gamble that I really wouldn't want to take. Because if that catches a limb or depending on how those limbs catch as they're falling, yeah, it could be bad for you. So, because of that, this is not a good place to set up a shelter. Now, unless you knock this down, but that's a hell of a lot more work. Huh. And it'd be pretty dangerous as well. Nothing worse than when a tree gets hung up in another tree when you're cutting wood, I'll tell you that. That's dangerous. That's when you get a long ash chain and a tractor. You pull that sucker away. Anyway, but this would be an excellent shelter area if it weren't for that tree. But these are the type of things you need to look out for. You know, if that thing would have fallen down on you, that would have probably hurt. It's not a real big limb, but it would have hurt coming from that height. Yeah. Anyway, so thought I'd show it to you. I was going to build one until I discovered that tree. I overlooked that completely. I just thought it was a tree growing out sideways because I wasn't paying attention. That's why it's really important to pay attention when you're selecting a shelter area. I don't know why I didn't see it. I just came up beside it. And, you know, the leaves down there, or the plants, were kind of obscuring the broken off part when I walked up. And I was focused on the rock. I'm like, hey, that'd be a nice place for a shelter. So, you know, that's why you want to make sure you look around. Anyway, I think I've said it enough. So I guess we'll continue on. I was going to maybe build a shelter anyway here, just to show some shelter building, how I'd probably set this up. But I don't know. I'm not going to do it now. All right. But you know, basically I just run a beam across the top of there. Take it out here somewhere on the other end. And, you know, make yourself a roof. Be pretty easy. But we're not doing that. I do have a tarp with me, so I could use a tarp as the roof. You know, run a couple beams across, throw the tarp on top of the beams, stake them out. That'd be good. But anyway.